I'll tell you about the man, the myth, the legend known as Shelby Duvall. Now, old Shelby, he's an old man now. He's in his late 60s. Might even be in his early 70s. I can't remember right offhand. But Shelby Duvall, now he's a character. That's a real character. When he was a kid, he's also not quite right in the head. When he was a kid, him and his sister was playing cowboys and Indians. This was, in the 60s. This was probably like mid 60s. And old Shelby, he was playing Indian, and his sister was a cowboy. Now he got her, tied her up to a log, and chopped her foot off with a hatchet. And that really happened. That was a real thing. That's a real story. And I don't reckon he got in any trouble over it because, he's not quite all the way there in the head, but that's just one little thing he did. Now later on, I've heard many stories of Shelby, but later on, there was a story about, he was sneaking into somebody's barn, fucking these donkeys, and he had fucked one of them, and he shot the donkeys, both of them, so that way they couldn't tell on him that he had done it. Because like I said, he's not right in the head. So he shot them donkeys because he was afraid they was going to go tell on him that he had had his way with them donkeys, right? Well, a little later on, a few years after that, this was probably about, when that happened, that was probably about in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, there was an incident where somebody, it was about 9 o'clock at night, and I'm not going to say any names or of cities or towns or nothing, but this is a place close to Mammoth Cave, Kentucky. And so anyways, this was about 9 o'clock at night or so, and this person in a Cadillac stopped and waved at Shelby to come on over there, said, "Hey man, you need a ride? I'll give you a ride somewhere, Shelby." And he walked up to the car to see who it was. Boy, they pulled out a sawed-off shotgun and blew old Shelby in the guts and chest with it. And I reckon he was bad off after that, but I mean, he healed from it and all. But I remember a bunch of people made shirts that said, "Who shot Shelby?" with a big old question mark. And they never did catch who shot old Shelby. And I used to have one of those shirts when I was a kid. I don't know what happened to it, but I'd like to keep it if I could find it somewhere or whatever. But that's a piece of history, at least from where I'm from. If you're from the area I'm from, I'm sure you'll know. You've heard the story and whatnot. Another story about old Shelby. One time he was talking to somebody in the grocery store down there, and they told him that if you masturbate too much, you'll start growing hair on your palms. And Shelby, he kept going, "No, that ain't true, that ain't true." And he's looking down at his palms every couple minutes to look and see if there any hair had growed. Then before he was about to leave the store, he asked the counter lady, said, "Y'all sell anything to get rid of hair like nair or anything like that?" That's another true story about Shelby. Now, like I said, Shelby wasn't all the way there in the head. And I remember he used to go to my dad's all the time to fish. And we always used to show him pictures that we got off the internet of a swordfish. And of course, they're only in the ocean. And we used to tell him, say, "Yeah, we got that down in there. We threw him back, so he's in there. You just gotta, you gotta catch him." And he went down there every couple days out of a week for about 3 years. Down there at my dad's trying to catch this swordfish out of a pond. And we had him convinced, man. There used to be a lot of car shows held in this town that we lived in. And so there was a lot of traffic in and out there about once or twice a year. Of course, there's nothing else in this town other than whenever they used to do that. They don't do nothing like it no more. That was about 15 to 20 years ago. And Shelby, he used to love playing like a sheriff. He would ride around on a bicycle with a toy gun in the holster and a fake badge on, plastic, probably got from a dollar store or something like that. And he used to go up to these out-of-towner people that were there for the car shows. And the man couldn't read or write, by the way. He used to write them tickets. And he'd pull out his little notepad and scribble on there a little ticket thing and give it to him. Well, sheriff one time was telling my dad that people would come down there to the sheriff's office and try to pay these tickets. And of course they couldn't pay him because, you know, Shelby wrote them. He just made it all up and he would pretend like he's giving you a ticket. And he said, when the sheriff said he'd look on the tickets to see what it was just a little rip-off notepad that people would keep phone numbers in and stuff like that back in the day. And it would just be scribbled because, you know, he can't read or write. And those people would be like, I didn't know where to pay this because I couldn't read the handwriting, so I just came here to pay it, you know. Oh, man. Oh, Shelby, when he dies, it's going to be a tragedy in that county I'm from. And, good Lord. I love Shelby Duvall, man. He's a character. And when he dies, there ain't going to be many more like him.